This is Dabu7. We now have word from scientists that they have uncovered giant human-like figures etched into the ceiling of an Alabama cave, and they're saying that this was done by Native American Indians more than 1,000 years ago. And you can see one of those right here. They're not per se the best drawings out there, but nonetheless, they are drawings, and they were done in a very odd cave, in a cave that even where the researchers were trying to get these images, they could not get good enough images until here recently, where they were able to take technology in there with them and get into these tight crevices. It was almost as if someone was laying on their back in some of these tight areas, drawing on the ceiling. So they were in the cave, laying on their back, drawing on the ceiling, and this is what they left. This one here reminds me of the bird head that you see in ancient Egypt. And it raises questions as to why were these things drawn and not regular people, what looks to be regular people. And here's a look of one of the guys in this cave. He said it took him a long time to get the use of his knees back because for years they had to go in here trying to get these images on their knees. Very low cave, as you could see there. Here's another shot of a bunch of scribble, so to speak. But nonetheless, it was a drawing, and I can even see one right here that they did not outline and they did not show in any of the other clips. I mean, you could see it right here. You could see the circular patterns of another one right there, and an X, perfect X right there. For whatever reason, they did not show this or even mention this one in terms of drawing it out. Makes you wonder how much more is in there. Well, they do admit that there were some found ahead of time, so there are a total, I guess, 19 of these drawings in there. This just goes to show you never know what you're going to find. And here was that other cave drawing out of Utah in Barrier Canyon that I was talking about with these large entities that's been on all kinds of shows and talked about many times. But this is a mystery here. There you go with another set. Some could say that maybe this was talking about the inner workings of a certain area of the cave system, pathways, this and that. And others that just don't know. They're not sure what it could be. An animal, snake. And they're not sure exactly what tribe would have done this, although they have an idea of the tribes that were in the area. But again, this is not looking too humanish in all accounts. You know, with a normal head, these things got horns or something coming off their heads. This one, too, raises the question as to why they would be drawing these things. Of all things, why would these things be on their mind heavily enough to draw them, etch them into the ceiling of this cave? Interesting. It also brings up things of the feathered serpent, Quetzalcoatl, things of that nature. And you couldn't even tell that they were there unless you were really looking, because they did not have those black lines on it. They looked like this, where you could just barely see an imprint. Again, you never know what you're going to find in your own backyard at any given moment. And that's a fact, Jack. Join me for the live streams where I talk about this and more. I'll leave links below. Hit that subscribe button for more. This has been Dabu7. Much love, y'all.